Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high level best of 5 between in the top left as our Red Protoss player playing for team Alpha X. It's going to be Zoun. And in the bottom right as the blue Terran player opening up with a double gas opener playing for GGG, Good Game Gaming, it is none other than Dream. Best of 5 here, which was recently played in one of the many Alpha X tournaments that they host throughout the week. I feel like there's like 3 or 4 of these tournaments every single week. This is called the Good Game Cup. I'm not actually sure if this is hosted by Alpha X, but Alpha X always provides the replay, so I'm happy to get them. First Barracks is being built here over in the natural. That means that this is a fake proxy Rex, or at least what we would consider a fake proxy Rex. Zoun will... Ooh. Wait, what is this opener? Excuse me, Zoun. Okay, he's opening up with a double gate cybernetic score, double gate at home, a relatively quick nexus as well, and a pylon going down here. Is this like a double adept opener? I've heard rumors of double adept openers becoming a little more comfortable, a little more common in this matchup. I haven't seen it so much. I also know that Zoun is the only person that actually does it, as the boys are chattering away, making sure to make me feel excluded while they speak Korean. So what do we have here? Dream's gonna scout with a Reaper. Will walk into this second adept if he isn't careful. There's still no second gas here for Zoun, so Zoun will stay on this very low gas type of style, at least for a longer period. It makes sense, of course. He opens up with 2 gateways, fast warp gate, really does not have the money to get that assimilator, will not have the minerals to really get another type of tech that quickly either, if he also wants to get that assimilator and start gas mining. Right now we see it go down. The gas count is starting to rise as well. Does eventually want to go up to a decent gas count here. This adept is actually dealing a fair amount of damage. Managed to kind of force these 2 SCVs to stay down. I think Zoun also spotted the fact that there is a cyclone about to pop out of this factory. And yeah, there's just not enough Dream, or there was not enough Dream to defend this so far. Worker counts are still somewhat even. Twilight is going to start extremely late. I think Dream is not in that bad of a spot, although he did end up losing 2 SCVs, did end up losing that Reaper. He also managed to kill 2 workers himself. I actually believe that this game is somewhat even. Yes, there was a little bit of damage, and sure, you know, ideally Dream doesn't lose these 2 workers, but on the other hand, I mean, if you open with a double gas, you know your CC is going to be delayed no matter what. You know that your tech is going to be fast, and that's exactly what's happening here. We see a delayed command center with very quick tech, and I think that is completely fine here for Dream, who's following this up with a 3 Rex, so a very Korean style opener. This really is, I keep saying it again and again, this is the one build that I don't see the foreigners play. They do not want to play factory units into 3 Rex and then later on into the starport. Europeans only have 2 modes, and that is either a 3 Rex without a factory, or it is the factory into the starport, and there seems to be nothing in between. Every now and again we see like a tank all in with 3 Rex, but it's very different than what the Koreans are playing. Dream, Ryang, Maru, they all play this kind of safe opener for the early game, and then just go into the 3 Rex for very high bio unit counts, and eventually once these 2 medevacts do pop out, they can get a pretty powerful push out on the map. Does mean that they are incapable of harassing, but it also means that their opponent is incapable of dealing any major damage to them, as they often have a quick tank, they have that cyclone to deal with any potential oracles as well, so I like this opener a lot. I'm curious to see what Zoun has planned against this. The 3 adepts are going to be shading in towards this natural, are not going to finish up. I think he saw that bunker and was like, well, I don't really want to commit into this, it seems somewhat risky. And I don't think he really should either. Blink is going to finish 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. That is a solid minute later than it usually would. But as there's no medevac, as there's no type of harassment coming out of Dream, I think this is no biggie, as we would say. Starport's already swapping to that reactor and will start the first 2 medevacs pretty quickly. +1's about to finish up as well. Marauder count is not quite that high, but we do see the first 2 in production right now. I guess he can get a second wave of Marauders out as well before these medevacs finish up. That means he gets a pretty decent amount of bio units here. 17 Marines so far. It's going to be 4 Marauders. Maybe eventually go to like 21-ish Marines. There will of course be a tank and a Cyclone, but it's very likely that these 2 factory units will stay at home. Ooh, actually no. You see an unsiege on the tank here, and with that Cyclone also moving out, I actually believe that Dream is planning on completely attacking with this. He really wants to go and deal some damage. Now it is Curious Minds, which is a very small map. We see that the gateways for Zoun are not quite done yet. Invested a lot in initially in the Stalkers and of course also in the Adept. That's a lot of gateway units, and the more gateway units you build, the more delayed your follow-up gates are going to be. And that means that his production is still slightly lacking at this point. Now the gates are about to finish up. There are some batteries at least on the way. There's 1 battery about to finish up at the 3rd base. Stalker goes down against that Cyclone lock-on. I think that Dream might just be wanting to pick up the win here. I'm not entirely sure if he can. A couple of Zealots are flanking, but they do not have charge yet. These Marines with +1 with their combat shields and the stim are dealing a crap ton of damage. There's not enough gateway units here. Immortal does end up popping, should be capable of cleaning this up. Move into the... Hello? Did not move into position of the super battery. And as a result, the Immortal just straight up died. That is going to make life a little bit harder than it really should have been. With an Immortal here, I think this might have been okay. But without this Immortal, life is going to be really, really difficult. Mine shows up as well. There's still 4 Marauders out, 3 medevacs consistently healing. I think that Zoun is actually just dead here. The Zealots are going to charge into these Marines and Marauders, but just end up dying. Mine gets 2 Stalker kills there. 1 with the splash, 1 with the direct shot. No blinking coming out of Zoun. We have another Zealot warping. We have a single Immortal showing up once again, but without sentries, without Guardian Shield, and without sufficient numbers of Zealots. I don't think this is going to be a hold. Stim forward once again. Mines sieging up. GG gets skulled and Dream wins game number 1 here on Curious Mind, which of course is a Terran map, but still I do not believe this should have been such a clean win. If you just kind of want to go back to that first point here, like well, this is not really the first point, more like this. Supplies are really close. Sure, a lot of that is in the worker supply, but 6 gateways are done, an Immortal is going to pop out, there is a sentry with Guardian Shield, and the mine count is non-existent, which means that Zealots are going to be extremely useful as well. I really do believe that if you look at this situation, I think Zoun just needs to hold on until charge finishes, and also if he doesn't lose that Immortal for free while the super battery is going, that also would be helpful. But we'll head into game number 2 and see if Zoun can improve from this game. Game number 2 is going to be played here over on 2K Atmospheres, as we see a very rapid SCV making its way across the map. Zooming like a madman, making sure to get here in time. Wants to probably throw down a barracks kind of behind that mineral line, and if Zoun doesn't scout that, this is going to be a major issue. This will allow a couple of things. First of all, this Reaper is going to hit the main base so extremely fast, it's going to be painful, and at the same time Marines can actually reinforce a bunker here, which I'm not sure if that's going to kill a Nexus necessarily, but it can definitely deal some real damage. Deny mining for a long time in that natural base. Here comes the worker now scouting the low ground, sees the barracks. I'm not sure if he can still take this down in time. Second probe gets pulled off the line immediately as well. Dream starts to micro this worker, but the worker is not in the correct spot. Once again, not in the correct spot. I do believe it's going to be fine. Oh no, some unlucky SCV movement there for Dream. Dream. You were so close, my friend. What was it, 3 seconds? 3 seconds away from finishing. It would have been a huge deal. It really would have been. It ends up going to complete crap. Now this SCV is still going to make its way across the map. I guess he still wants to get a Reaper from this barracks to at least put some type of pressure on, but yeah, this is going to be really delayed. Yeah, the barracks definitely will finish at this point. Yeah, Reaper pops out or is going to be built. And 32 seconds from now, yeah, the first gateway unit will just be out at that point. It's going to arrive the same time where usually a Reaper would arrive as well if the barracks were at home. So So this is a very delayed barracks. This is an extremely poor opener. One of the main reasons why this type of proxy rexing is extremely uncommon in general is because it completely destroys the Terran marine production. Because in order to get marines, you need to get a reactor, you need to fly this barracks back. So basically, Dream will now fly this barracks back home, but until this barracks is home, not a single marine will be produced. This means that the Protoss is completely safe to take a very fast third base, because there can't be any real pressure. The only thing that Terran can do is harass, and Protoss is aware of that. The only tool that Terran can use is maybe a mine drop or getting a Banshee. A Hellion drop. These are things that are viable, but things like a tank push or a Cyclone Viking push, Cyclone, I don't know, medevac push, just anything that requires marines to deal damage, like most of these factory pushes, they require marines, otherwise it doesn't do any damage, will not be viable. And that means that Zoun can skip batteries kind of in a liberal way. He can get a very quick third base. All he needs to do is make sure that he doesn't die against any potential mine drop. Well, that mine actually did just get a hit. That's very cool. I think this Reaper might almost be capable of taking out that Stalker as well. It's pretty close. So once again, chatting away, making me feel incompetent about myself. One day I'll learn Korean, guys. Then you'll see it. They'll be typing away in their own language, and I'll be able to translate it. You'll see that they'll never talk again then. This will be my goal for 2023. Capable of speaking Korean good enough so that I can read everything that they banter about in the game. Oh, that would be very cool. 30C here is on the way. Makes sense, as the marine production is lacking, of course. Means you're also saving a lot of money. With that money you can build a fast third command center. This pylon did absolutely nothing for Zoun. I'm still okay with him building it though. It really did do nothing though. I'm not quite sure why you would build it here if you're not planning on doing some extremely heavy aggression. Mine drop is going to be sent out as kind of predicted, as expected. Zoun should be expecting this as well. He's getting a lot of damage on this medevac actually, and I think this medevac just needs to go home. It cannot continue on. There's still, well, that's 2 more shots here. I mean, if there's just a single Stalker in the main base, this drop is completely doomed. And there is a single Stalker in the main base, and thus this drop is completely doomed. Yeah, Dream, yeah, you really should not be going in here, buddy. You have no clue what's waiting for you. Well, actually, you do have a clue what's waiting for you, and that's enough already. Just 2 Stalkers. Oh my god. These guys just keep bantering about. Dream right now saying, you got very lucky there finding my medevac. Zoun says, I have 2 Stalkers in my main base. Don't you dare coming in. And then he's going to move them away at some point as well, so that Dream doesn't see them anymore. But this type of text will, you know, Dream will keep it in mind. And then when Zoun is on the other side of the map, Dream still will not want to send in the medevac, because he's afraid of the 2 Stalkers. I think that might just happen here. Because it's obvious to me Zoun wants to move out. He has a Prism on the way. He's getting a Robo Bay behind this. This is a really cool build order, by the way. Just want to note that. 2-gate third base into a kind of like a Prism still, and then a Colossi follow-up. So Forge is going to be very delayed, but we will see some heavy Blink Stalker pressure, and that's just really cool to see. It's going to be against the triple CC as well, and as there's hardly any Marines here still, only 9 Marines total, 6 minutes into the game. I think he can blink up. Yep, he definitely can. Tank on the low ground did manage to get a couple of hits in. He's got a single shot in. And the control with the Prism actually is very good here. Love to see it. Manages to save all of his Stalkers so far. Deals a decent amount of damage. I think a couple of Marines did end up falling. We started with 9. We only have 7 left now, I think. But 2 more came out, so I think he might have lost 4. That's what the units lost tab said as well. But I wasn't so sure if any Marines died in the early game. But I guess not, because the stupid Barracks was busy flying home. Should have remembered. Forge actually does get thrown down right now. That means that Zoun feels confident in his ability to hold anything in the next 2.5 minutes. Usually it's not so common. If you're getting a Prism, if you're getting some Stalker pressure, and you go into those Colossi, it is very difficult to afford like sentries, a decent gateway army as well, while you're getting the extra upgrade. Zoun not actually paying attention here, which means these mines are going to deal a lot of damage. Extremely frustrating for the Protoss player, who still is in a good position nonetheless. Still is up a decent chunk of workers. He's up a base. I think has superior tech as well. and is working on his upgrades. So although he's of course going to be behind, Terran already has the +1 attack, I still believe this to be a somewhat okay situation right now for Zoun. Sends out one of the probes towards the left side. I think wants to be building some pylons here for vision. That's exactly what he wants to be doing. This is still that medevac from earlier as well. Has not taken any damage ever since. The funny thing is that this actually gives a warning to Dream saying, hey, there's vision here, you need to be careful. I wouldn't have minded if Zoun had built a pylon over here and kind of hidden 2 stalkers in this location. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter because Dream is just going to straight up sacrifice his medevac. We'll lose. Oh my god, look at the retargeting here. Can you see it? Maybe I need to zoom in for that. He's just constantly retargeting between the two, then eventually needs to let it go because there's other things to do in life as well rather than just retargeting a mine. It took a lot of time there. It also means that these probes could not mine for quite a while. 4 gas into a 4th base for Zoun. So we're going to be seeing a heavy focus, initially at least, on charge lots rather than getting into that faster tech. With the Templar Archives out, it wouldn't surprise me if we even get a little bit of a push going here. Although I'm not so sure how successful that push might just end up being. There are a crap ton of tanks here. Turrets are in position as well. We even have a little bit of a depot wall here above these 3-4 tanks. So yeah, look, I love attacking Terrans just as much as every Protoss, but I don't think this is a completely viable plan here. Zoun has such good blink stalker control, honestly. It really is phenomenal. Never really takes any hull damage here, just gets these shields out of the way. Getting a free kill on that turret. I really do believe he cannot enter this position. He does have 8 gateways and 2 more about to finish up. He also has +1. But I mean, this angle just looks painful to engage into. I would not want to be doing this. I would not want to be caught in this angle. Absolutely not. There's also no real need. I mean, you're up an entire base. You could just saturate the extra gases on your third, go up to 8 gas. Okay, he's already getting a Stargate right now. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that's actually kind of crazy. So he wants to straight up transition into carrier here without even having any disruptors. This almost feels too risky in a way, you know? Look, I love getting carriers against turtley tanks. I think it's a good call often. But like this? I don't know. It feels really, really early. Disruptor production is going to start. There are 2 robotics facilities out as well. Gas 7 and 8 finally are being taken. I think that's a little bit too slow still because the gas count is already quite low. Disruptor production is truly kicking off at this point. Prism is going to get spotted here. Will get taken out most likely by these 8 Marines and the medevac. Golden duo, medevacs and Marines. Will manage to clear that Prism. 7 cannons on the way already, as we do see a Zoun that is preparing for a longer, later game. Stargate is out. Where is the fleet beacon? Where are the extra Stargates? We want to be getting into that late game as soon as we can. I mean, if you're rushing out the Stargate, if you're delaying your disruptors for a little bit, you might as well just throw them down, no? We have Graphitic Drive on the way here. We already had the, I think it's called Graphitic Boosters, which is for the observer speed being researched earlier, which means that these observers, how many are there? Well, just 1 actually. Only a single observer. Well, this observer is going to be real darn fast, so that's nice for him. I guess the Graphitic Drive would have been great for the Prism as well, but so far it does not look like he's actually building any Prisms or observers, just pure disruptor production. Here finally comes the fleet beacon, as well as the 2nd Stargate. I wouldn't mind a 3rd Stargate here either, maybe even a 2nd Cybernetics core to really get these air upgrades going. Getting armor upgrades, of course, very important if you're playing against Marines. For those interceptors will be useful, especially because EMP will deal with all the shields. Your regular health is all that you have, and the same counts for the interceptors, of course. It's one of the main reasons why you never really see shield upgrades being researched in this matchup. It's because the EMP is so extremely powerful against those shields. Oh, single tank's gonna get taken out, as well as the sensor tower. Both of these disruptors will stay alive for now. Dream is setting up a 4 medevac drop. Where are you heading, buddy? Just a... Ooh. It's already being queued up straight in towards the main base. I don't think Dream's aware that there's a 5th over here, though. He's going to be aware of that pretty soon. As Tempest are coming out right now. So rather than going into carriers, Zoun follows this up with Tempest. This is something that he does very often. feels comfortable with it, gets a couple of cannons, gets usually some stormers as well per base, make sure that he can't die, and then very slowly but surely tries to break Terran positions with Tempest. And you know what? I kind of like that. If you feel comfortable with Tempest, why not? There's just a lot of people that don't feel comfortable with Tempest. This drop is going to get spotted here, and right now there's really nothing that could fight this in the main base. We immediately see a recall in towards the natural. This Archon is stuck. A lot of the other units as a result also are going to be stuck. Luckily there's no Stargates here in the main base, but yeah, actually there's no real review estate. That would be terrible to lose. I guess the Dark Shrine would be the worst thing. It's not really the end of the world, not with the composition that Zoun is going for. At the same time though, Dream, moving in position to kill this base, does get hit by a couple of big disruptor shots. Seems like Zoun was ready for this though, of course, had that watchtower vision, saw it coming a long time ago already. He knew where Dream was heading. Tempest could be taking out this little army that's still floating in the top right corner, by the way. It seems like Zoun completely forgot about the fact that he does have some air units. Maybe he does not want to reveal that though. He does not want to reveal that he has Tempest. Well, that's too late right now. It does end up just getting scanned there. Medevacs now once again will try to redrop in towards the main base. Will be capable of taking out a couple of workers. As the +2 air weapons attack is on the way. Vikings I think just absolutely disappeared. A little bit of a marauder ghost medevac flank on these Colossi. Tempest wanna try to take out these medevacs. Will be capable of taking out one medevac, and this other medevac is gonna get taken out by the stalkers. This drop is dealing way more damage than I think it ever really should have. And these warpins in range of the bio also isn't the most brilliant solution to this, well, actually pretty big problem. This can still be picked up as well, of course, and knowing Dream, he might just end up picking up like two Marines. Once again, go back to the corner, maybe try to redrop in towards the natural. Double Tempest does pop and will take care of that medevac. So finally, no more aggression on Zoun's side of the map, and we immediately see Dream launch another attack. This is a very aggressive game. Dream does not want to engage with the army and consistently wants to run around this. These tanks are getting a good trade here though. Taking out all of these Colossi for free. Very sloppy play out of Zoun. Now a couple of these Disruptors also gonna get sniped down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good micro there. Dream absolutely microing his heart out. And all of a sudden, I think he's actually kind of ahead. I do not think that Zoun can still be here. Now, of course, this army consists of a lot of tanks, which are not great at chasing Protoss armies. But the Disruptor count is almost non-existent. These Tempests are falling. Oh, no real good anti-air in this army. Thor's a little bit too slow to take him out from that much of a distance. I'm feeling this position a lot more for Dream than I did, well, half a minute ago. Sniping all of those Disruptors obviously was big. These two Disruptors are going to fall as well. And now Zoun really is in a world of trouble. Only has Archons for Splash currently. And I think there's plenty. There's 8 ghosts out, buddy. There's 8 ghosts out currently. That means that these Archons are going to fall like flies if a couple of EMPs end up hitting. And why would they not? EMP cast instantly, practically. It has, well, a diameter that is so large it makes the Grand Canyon jealous. Like, this is not good. This is not good for Zoun. Supplies are even, but if any of these EMPs end up hitting this Archon clump, life is going to be really difficult. There we go. All of these Archons immediately just kind of disappearing. Disruptors are going to connect, and we see 2 Archons actually. Wow. It's actually kind of breaking this position. I am extremely surprised that this just happened. There is a very large worker count though here. As I scroll away from the fight accidentally. That's my bad. So maybe that is the issue. It was close to reinforcements. 2 Thors weren't in the fight yet. So I guess there was really just 20-25 supply or so missing. That was either stuck in barracks or factory. And on top of that being, having more workers is also kind of uncommon versus Protoss. So maybe these 2 things together. I still felt like that Dream was just going to be capable of winning that fight though. He had so many ghosts. You really have so many ghosts, and ghosts are so powerful against this type of Protoss army where there's not that many Disruptors in it. There was 2 Disruptors in that fight. Both of the Purification Novas did end up hitting in a big way. But right now, well, I think the advantage goes back to Zoun here. These DTs do not actually have the blink yet. Are they going to walk in anyway? I think they're going to try. Yeah, that's not going to work, buddy. 11 DTs. Yeah, you're definitely going to need to wait for for your blinker, but he already gave away his plan right now, and we see Dream immediately respond with a small task force, trying to take out at least 1 or 2 of these DTs before they can take out the planetary. And really just taking out 1 or 2 DTs oftentimes is enough. Wouldn't surprise me if it's going to be enough this time around as well. Carrier production starting just now. We have 8 disruptors out on the map, 11 DTs, plus 2 armor on the way. And the armor upgrades have been lacking for the Protoss player so far. 6th base finally is being taken. This 5th base, by the way, was taken at like the 9-minute mark, and the 6th base at the 17-minute mark. Kind of shows how the game has been going ever since the 9-minute mark. Felt like Zoun was so far ahead, and well, the last 5-6 minutes he's been trying to throw these advantages out of the window. Going to be a lift here on this base. Was the 3rd, of course. We have another small move out here on the left side as well. And these DTs do not feel comfortable engaging into that. Command center is going to end up falling. There's not that many orbitals around. I mean, there's one here in the main base. That's nice at least. But yeah, that's really all there is. EMP's hitting a lot of these DTs actually. I caught the tail end of that just now. These Archons are also going to be taken out. That means that this 6th base is going to fall. Bottom right being taken for Dream. This is a full energy orbital as well. And this was supposed to be the 6th base. Will end up being the 5th. I do not believe that Zoun is aware of that. Although I think he saw everything in the watchtower. I'm not sure if he was paying attention to it. Single medevac with 8 Marines is going to get F2'd into the army once again. Sloppy play out of Dream happens to the best, of course, if you use that F2 a lot. And Terran is one of the races that really needs to use that F2 a lot with the way that they produce units often. Big EMP is going down and Dream takes a good start of the fight. Disruptors will come in from the left side here, take out this 1 tank at least. And Dream says, well, if your disruptors are on the left, I'm going to continue fighting on the right. 5th base is going to get taken out as well. At the same time, a couple of disruptors get sniped. Dream's control of these fights is absolutely phenomenal so far. He had 1 poor fight, but everything else has been absolutely brilliant. Has a lot of income as well. And right now, the only thing that I think Zoun can do is sit on 4 bases, slowly try to expand while being very passive and get a powerful air army, and then pray to God that you can win 1 fight. And after you win that fight, you counterattack, you go into the Terran production, and you win the game. That is it. That is what you want to be doing. If you cannot win the game immediately, I think Protoss is just in a world of trouble, because he's getting outmined in a very big way. Base trades are not good in this type of situation. Zoun is completely exposing his top side here. This left side base will also get cancelled. We have a drop in the main base already. I'm not even sure how I missed that. I'm not sure how Zoun missed that as well. But I guess both of us, we share something there in that case. There's a lot of disruptors here defending at least the 12 o'clock, but this new base is going to get cancelled, and I don't think there's anything these disruptors can do about it. Good pre-splits here, just kind of moving away from the disruptors. None of these are going to get hit for now. The entire main base is falling, and we have a lot of reinforcements over here. I don't even think this army is big enough to truly break a planetary, at least if there's a couple of ghosts nearby. Look how many ghosts are out once again. 17! It's like a TVZ. That is actually a crazy amount of ghosts. The reason for that is because he wants to have like 5-6 ghosts in this army. He wants to have like 8-9 ghosts in this army to deal with this. So I kind of understand why he has this many. He's pushing it a little bit with that constant ghost production. I would not mind just getting more Marines, a couple of extra Marauders as well. This fight is being won here by Dream, and I think this fight also will be won by Dream. First EMPs do hit big on the Archons. This chunk of the army is going to get taken out, but a lot more is here where that came from. We're kind of chilling at the planetary and now realize, hey wait, it's time to jump into action. Recall gets used, but I don't actually think that is going to be too useful. Might be capable of taking out this force. I say might be, I'm not even sure about this. This is a powerful force. These ghosts are really, really strong. Archon will deal a lot of damage here. I'm not so sure if focusing down the carrier was the optimal play. There's still plenty of money coming in though for Dream. Still has this 1 base remaining. Still has well, actually, there still is a lot of infrastructure that just needs to be repowered. There's a Dark Shrine on the way. What's the disruptor count? Yes, 0. If there was like 3-4 disruptors here, I'm not saying that Zoun is winning. I'm just saying that maybe, he can do something. He has this right side base. He has 50 workers. He's getting a left side base. I'm not so sure why, but Guess he wants to start mining a lot. Maybe reproduce some workers. But without disruptors against Ghost, there's just no way. Gateway units just don't deal any damage. They're too weak. They're too weak against Ghost Bio armies. You need to have some type of splash from your Robo facility, whether that's going to be Colossi or Disruptor, and ideally both. Combination of the two is always very powerful. But an army like this, it just cannot deal with an army that, well, has more than 3 Ghosts. And that definitely is the case here. So, yeah, Dream can just kind of walk around, do whatever he wants. Sends a bunch of these Marines with the 2 Medivacs towards the right side. I don't think it was meant to defend this base, but it will be capable of defending the base. I really believe he just wanted to start an assault on this right side base at some point in the future. Now, we still have this one observer, which has seen a lot, by the way. Once again, sees these Ghosts kind of retreating. His bottom side base is mining, and here Dream will be aware that he is going to be under some heavy assault. Ooh, bigling forward here. That actually could be a very favorable trade here for Zoun. He's still just lacking splash in this army. He needs... Yeah, you can't fight Ghosts without splash. Ghosts are just too... They kill everything. They kill everything that does not have splash. And even kill some things that do have splash. They deal well with Archons. They do pretty okay with Colossi. GG gets called. The second game also goes the way of Dream after 23 minutes. It felt like Zoun was very far ahead in the early game. But Dream, with some slick play, some good control in these fights, manages to make it work 2-0. And we'll be heading in potentially the final game here in this best of 5. Here we are in game number 3. And here we are once again as well, with that first SCV being sent straight away across the map. I'd be surprised to see the same thing though, right? Oh my god, is he just barely gonna miss it? No, he's gonna spot it. Okay, they're gonna find each other. This is kind of awkward. I wish I knew what it meant. Barracks goes down at home, as we have... yeah, this SCV is just gonna probably go for an eBay block. It's not a completely uncommon scenario here. Where that first SCV gets spotted. Yeah, Dream is... I do know what this means. This means haha. And the dot dot. So it's like laughing but not really laughing. He's a sad man right now. It's going to be an eBay block indeed. Zoun will try to stop that. And this actually works out pretty well here for Zoun. So Zoun is going to pretend like he wants to take this natural. And he's even putting 3 workers here. And at the same time he's proxying a gateway. This is really cool. I think this is a really smart play. He's going to send this worker back home. This would not want to review that has just been idling near the base. Or at least, I guess that's what Dream was supposed to think in that type of case. This eBay will go down eventually. But at this point, I don't think it's going to be super suspicious when the Nexus doesn't go down ASAP. Another pylon first usually needs to be built anyway. Maybe people build a zealot. If Dream does not go into the main base to figure out what's going on. Oh my god, this is so bad for Dream. This is the Dream scenario for Zoun. Yeah, this is absolutely brilliant. Because right now Dream is like, well, I'm blocking this Nexus so well. Zoun doesn't even want to build a Nexus. Although he's floating 400 minerals. Oh, he's actually going to throw it down. I'm surprised by that. I guess... Okay, he's gonna throw it down and then just get Stalker here, adapt from this base. Now he does need to be a bit careful against that first Reaper, because his initial gateway unit is going to be pretty delayed. No second gas is down here yet either. Once again, that SCV tries to sneak by. Oh, gets hit once. Now this probe will end up falling. Dream probably cannot continue in. Ideally wants to see whether there's a gas or not. Now sees this very late second gas and probably is like, wait a second, what's going on over here? And at the same time that he was saying, well, what's going on over here, starts losing that SCV in the natural. I think this game is practically over right now. Forgot the second depot as well. That's really bad. That has nothing to do with the eBay block. That is just to do with Dream not playing well. This eBay was supposed, or this depot was supposed to go down a long time ago. Now he ended up getting supply block for a little bit. His bunker still in rage. Second gateway unit comes out here. There's an adept over here as well. Oh, yo. I actually believe that Dream is kind of dead here. I don't think he has much. Yeah, GG is going to be called. Zoun wins game number 3 in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And although this game is very short, the other one was 23 minutes, they both count for a single game win. So the score right now is 2-1 in favor of Dream, and we'll be heading into game number 4. Here we are in game number 4, and once again Dream opens up with a Proxy Rex for the second time in this best of 5. It is going to be a Proxy Rex close to home. It's going to be on Zoun to scout this, but Zoun for now is just checking around the base, making sure that nothing weird is happening. Second probe will go down to check in the natural. I like this way of scouting, by the way, that's very cool. It's I think he will very consistently get the barracks that gets built in the natural as well. If he scouts at this timing. And it allows his first worker to get across the map a little bit quicker. And that allows him to scout. So right now he sees, okay, I need to get that core before the nexus down. That will definitely help in order to beat any type of quick Proxy Rex Reaper. Second probe actually is being sent out here. What are your plans? What's your secret? What you doing, buddy? These are the real questions, of course. Second gas not being taken yet. Money is available. Okay, here comes the second gas. Feels like a Proxy Stargate, but Proxy Stargate is not that popular. It is not very popular against a Proxy Rex start. And there's a pretty darn good reason for that as well. And the reason is actually pretty simple. When someone plays Proxy Rex or fake Proxy Rex, their first factory unit is going to be out a lot quicker than it usually is. And that also means that the second factory unit is going to be out a lot quicker than it usually is, etc, etc. So there's just going to be a lot of factory units to deal with that initial oracle. The mine will already be out, there's the possibility that there's a tech lab and a cyclone coming out as well. So yeah, there's a lot of options here for Dream. Dream also saw the lack of a second pylon on the low ground. The question is, did he put 1 and 1 together? And then he realized that it's 2. And, well, the second pylon is actually the one that is missing. Still a probe on the far left side as well. I think this is fairly obvious as to what is happening. This Reaper needs to start scouting for what the proxy is, where it is located. And then we'll have to wait and see what Dream decides to do. But I'd be surprised if he doesn't realize yet what's going on. Zoun, by the way, right now losing a fair amount of money as well, because he has 2 probes that are not mining. I think that Dream knows that something is off. He just seems very indecisive as to what to do with this Reaper. That makes me a little bit sad. He's going to instead jump in towards the main base to try and get a scout of the tech, but the tech will not be there. The second mine is moving into position right now. First mine here in the front. Second mine will be near the refinery. This has some potential, of course. We see where that first oracle is rallied, and that is straight into that Widow mine. I am not a fan of that. I am not a fan of that for Zoun. I'm also not a huge fan of how he's defending against this Reaper. 2 probes will end up falling, and indeed the oracle gets rallied into the mine. Sadly, I missed that, but we all know what happened. 3 mines will get dropped here, and there's no real way to deal with this medevac drop either. I really dislike Zoun's position at this moment. And I think Zoun also dislikes his position. Dream is laughing. It's a type kill almost here on the medevac, because it ends up getting 3 shots rather than only 2 if the boost would have been activated immediately. And I think that was because Dream was busy typing z, which is supposed to be haha. Or at least the letter that comes out of the z. I think is a K, so it makes the sound keka or something like that, and that's haha, because that's the Korean way of laughing, if I recall correctly. The ZZ is just the ZZ, it's just the location of the keyboard, or where the key is, that makes that noise. It's a very intricate way. 7 probes end up going down, so nothing to laugh here right now for Zoun. Dream is the only one that's laughing. 2 workers will fall as well on his side, but I mean, this oracle's pretty low already. He's going to have a difficult time getting back in. This mine drop can still go back in. There's no blink yet. Yep, this mine drop is going to deal damage again. At least we'll get 3 workers. Oh, there's an armory here. This might just be game, actually. If there's an armory here, this might just be game. Adept is going to fall as well. Both of these might be capable to be caught in a single revelation. Could still send a mine in towards the natural as well. I mean, these oracles are completely out of position. Another mine drop is coming in. Yeah, this game is 100% over at this point. There's absolutely nothing that Zoun can do anymore. It actually has just ended. The game has completely ended. This mine is going to end up in the main base. Does not get the burrow off though, as the probes respond very quickly. Now, it is possible for an oracle to at least kill these 2 mines. But then there's still going to be 2 mines in the main as well. They will get to shoot at least 1 more time, I think. All of these are not going to shoot one more time. This medevac will also get taken out. Blink will finish up at some point. Oh, I love this repositioning. Look at that. That ensures that at least one of the mines gets to shoot one more time, and it also forces another 25 energy down the drain. Let's take a look at this target fire here out of this mine. Are you paying attention? Yes, but Zoun wasn't. So 4 more workers go down. 13 kills on this mine. 77 supply against 50. Barracks 4 and 5. Oh, sorry, 3, 4 and 5 already on the way. Plus 1 halfway done. This game is extremely over. Zoun is still going to try. But the moment this push makes its way across the map, the game will end. We know it, Zoun knows it. He's spending his time typing rather than playing the game. And maybe that was the issue in this series. Too much typing, too many words that I do not understand. And too little playing, defending the mine drop well. That initial mine drop did get spotted, still end up getting 7 kills. Is kind of surprising, of course. I do regret that. Regret that happened, at least for Zoun. Dream can type away. He's winning. You know, he can be a keyboard warrior all he wants right now, making Zoun laugh. Oh, Dream's a funny guy. Can't help it. He's a funny guy. +1's about to finish up here though. It's 4 seconds away from finishing. Yeah, I mean this is such a powerful army right now. These stalkers will be capable of picking off maybe like what 4 or 5 marines. You're still dealing with 3 tanks, 2 marauders, and even if you take out 10 marines, it's still going to be 20 marines. Okay, 2 medevacs, that's a start. That actually is a really good start. Zoun crap talking immediately after, saying, hey, get out of my game, son. I'm owning you. Of course, not really the truth, because he's not owning him whatsoever. That's also probably not what he said. Probably said, please go back home. I'm not ready for you yet. 1 more marine will get taken out. Another marine. His blink control is actually the best, I think. Hero is more decisive, parting is more decisive, like especially aggressively, but this type of kiting, I think Zoun is the best when it comes to that type of stuff, for sure. Battery is not done yet, and that means that this hold will be impossible. Even Tom Cruise would not be capable of finishing this. That's weird, because he did do 4 mission impossibles already. This would be mission truly impossible. And we see Tom Cruise die in the opening sequence. Yeah, GG gets called. Dream wins this series 3-1. We already knew the game was over. And yeah, that means the end of this video as well. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you all liked it. And I'll see you all next time for a new video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.